media may cause brain rot. A new study is shining light on how constantly scrolling through short videos, perhaps on TikTok or Instagram, can impact your brain. And it's not looking good. That's why we're joined by ThriveWorks licensed counselor Stephen Tuttle. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. It's good to be here.
Yeah, I want to get to that study in just a moment. But first, how would you define brain rot? It's a term I know we've been throwing around a lot. So what's your view on it?
So, how I understand brain rot and what I usually work on with clients when it comes to this kind of stuff is the obsessive scrolling through social media, YouTube, anything where it's just kind of mindless. There's no really substance to what we're doing.
So it's kind of just constantly going through those videos but not really engaging fully. So this new study shows scrolling through several short videos can change our brain. It can actually alter it. So can you explain how?
Sure. So, when we are experiencing pleasurable activities of any sort, our brain releases dopamine, and those are basically, happy chemicals. Especially with these short version videos like in TikTok and so Facebook Reels and things of that sort. We're just getting little bits, 15, 30-second clips where we're getting dopamine burst after dopamine burst after dopamine burst. And what that ends up doing is making it so that we only gain these bits where we're enjoying things for short periods of time and making it so that the long term effects of enjoyment are harder to reach and gain.
Now, you said that when we watch these social media videos, dopamine is released from our brain. So, would that be one of the reasons why this becomes addictive?
Absolutely, yes. It's very similar to, any other addictive types of things like substance abuse or alcoholism, where we are again receiving this pleasurable experience through the release of these chemicals. Since the dawn of social media, we have seen uh, huge increases in depression and anxiety, suicide, even. But the most common things that we will see are typically things like social isolation. People begin to struggle engaging in real life conversation.
So, what advice do you have for people who want to reduce the amount of time that they're watching these short videos or their children?
Yes, absolutely. Well, if they're children, I would highly just encourage don't really give them access to social media. 12, 13 and under, do they need it? My argument is probably not. But for those of us who are using it, things that I encourage would be to make times and places where you don't use it. So, at the dinner table, leave your phone somewhere else. If you're having family time or time with your partner or your friends, leave your phone off. Find alternative activities. Instead, pick up a book, draw, paint, go for a walk. I also recommend turning off any screen time about 30 minutes before bedtime because it also really impacts our sleep. You might still sleep a good 8, 9 hours, but your quality of sleep suffers when you spend too much time in front of screens.
All right. All good information to have. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, giving those tips, because I know this is something that all of us struggle with.
Absolutely. It's
All
my
right.
pleasure to be here. I appreciate you having us.